So, y'all know I typically like making videos, right? I enjoy them. They give me hope, they give me joy, and all that, wonderful, good feeling stuff. And I hope it brings that to y'all as well. I just love making videos, right? Unfortunately, there does come a time where I genuinely hate to make a video, and I find no joy or happiness necessarily in making it, but it's almost necessary to make it. Unfortunately, that is one of these times I actually have one of my really good smelly candles over here to kind of calm the mood atmosphere over here. Just to let you know, Kodo, thank you. I was trying to avoid soda, but I'm going to be drinking this to stay up and make this, so wonderful. So, again, this is not a video I'm very happy to be making right now. I really did not want to make another video on this topic. I thought I was done with it a month ago. I wanted to be done with it a month ago. The reason, as y'all know, I made it was to call out someone who was, grooming a minor, who was in that little relationship thinking. And okay, I do understand, some points of people are like, oh, it's not versus Onision and stuff like that. Okay, I do understand where people go with that, but it's still not something that should have been acceptable, right? So, at that point in time, what I was comfortable with was just calling out that bad behavior, saying I wasn't right, because Kodomodachi was just so, adamant about saying, no, it's right. I still need to be their friend, blah, 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 and all this and that. And I was like, no, you can't do that. You just said you dated them. There's no, coming back from that and saying, oh, well, I can be their friends a little bit here and there. You just can't do that. You know what I'm saying, guys? So, that's the reason why I'm like, okay, I need to speak out about it, right? And now I'm back again because, unfortunately, y'all, I have learned that Kodomodachi has once again come into contact with the minor in question. Now, I'm going to obviously be showing y'all proof about this, but I will say that the contacts, yes, there were multiple people who helped me out in this little venture, I guess you could say, do wish to remain anonymous. I will be keeping them anonymous to respect them. I mean, they're brave enough coming forward with this information, knowing full well that they could be trashed about it or whatever have you, because, it's a hard thing to come forward with this, especially when you've known that this person for a while. And, these people had to have somewhat of a tight-knit connection with Kodomodachi in the first place to be in these kind of certain groups and whatnot. So I will say I want to give major shout outs to everybody who did help me with this. Thank y'all for coming forward with it. Y'all were very brave and I very much appreciate it, and I will make sure to keep y'all anonymous. But besides that, like I said, Kodomodachi is now still in contact with the minor. Now, I do want to clarify that I will be saying what the minor's username is. Obviously not the real name at all. But the username I am going to be showing. I'm not going to be showing the profile picture because I still want to have some decency for the kid. But the only reason why I'm going to be showing y'all the username is because of two things. One, because his username has already been out there. It's been in multiple videos, way bigger than mine, honestly. So the name is out there. People know what his username is, and it's unfortunate, but it's out there. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like I'm bringing anything new to the table if I say it. And for two, I want to make sure that y'all know that this is, in fact, the minor that we are talking about. So their name is Force2 for their username, and they, like I said, once again, are in contact with Kodo. And whatever y'all do, do not bring any hatred towards anybody I talk about in this video. Definitely not the minor. As always, I don't want y'all to send death threats. I don't need y'all to be attacking them. That's not the purposes of this video. Honestly, this video was a little bit harder to make for me, I feel like, because this affects quite a few people outside of even Force2. Obviously, Force2 is the primary victim here, and I will never take away from that. But at the same time, there have been a lot of, I would say, relationships broken. A lot of people are just, in a disarray, discomfort of a lot of things because of Kodomodachi's actions. So, Kodomodachi, you reap what you sow. So, if people come at you and they're like, I can't believe that you lied to us. I can't believe you did this, this, and that. Don't try and play victim here. You know what you did. I gave you an ultimatum. The internet gave you an ultimatum to not talk with the minor ever again. And you broke that trust. So I unfortunately have to talk about this crap hole once again. So what I will say is they are not in a relationship either. I do want to clarify that. I don't want to excessively bring anything more to the table than what's already, what I know for facts. I don't want to make this bigger than it seems. I mean, it's still a pretty big deal, but I don't want to blow this out of proportion and put things that are not facts, because that's just going to take away from what I'm saying, y'all know. So as far as I know, Force 2 and Kodo are no longer in a relationship at all. In fact, I believe Force 2 is now with someone with their own age, which is great. Good for them. I'm glad that they moved from, the Kodo situation. But regardless, that this still not take away from the fact that Kodomodachi got into contact with them. So let's talk a little bit about that, shall we? Since I have been talking about them being in contact, I haven't shown anything yet. So first off, I do want to show how I know this is also Kodomodachi talking, because as you'll know, Kodomodachi did change their username from the last time when I showed a video, and of course they've changed their username and profile picture since then. So I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all right here what they look like now. Now, I do want to block out their profile picture just because, again, even though I really shouldn't be giving them privacy at this point, I still don't want people to try and find them and attack them. That is not my whole goal of this situation, but I will be showing their username for purposes here because you will see why it's necessary. So going on to that, so as you can see, their new name is Puppet. That's what Kodomodachi goes by now on Discord. I'm sure by the time that this video releases, or even maybe a little bit earlier today, they will have changed their nickname by now. But as y'all can see, it is Puppet. I'm even showing the group conversation I used to be in with them, just to show that, yes, this was them. Just so y'all know, I'm not blowing this out of proportion or just blaming some random stranger on the internet, So let me go ahead and show y'all the first message here. As you can see right here, Force 2 actually went ahead and tagged Kodomodachi, or what she is known as Puppet now. And he basically was just, saying some stuff. I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty of what they're saying on the conversation, but the whole point is they tagged them, right? So I know some of y'all might be like, well, this says yesterday. How are we supposed to know when this was taken? Because this could have been taken whenever. And that is a very good question. I'm glad you asked. So this was actually taken on June 23rd. This whole conversation was taking place back then, but obviously this conversation was screenshotted on June 24th because it says yesterday. So let y'all know this is very, very recent, okay? This message in particular. So this is not something that was way in the past or something that was just not, relevant to today. This is something that has happened very recently. And I do want to clarify that, as far as I know, that there were multiple servers in which Force 2 and Kodo were in. Maybe not simultaneously, but potentially could be. But at least there were multiple servers, layers upon it. And so let me go ahead and explain that. As you'll know, the first server was nuked because of all the crap that was going on in the first place, which of course never happened in the first place, but it did. So that server was nuked, right? Now comes the second server after that, which was basically all about the aftermath of what happened after the whole situation. And what I do know is Force was not allowed in that group chat, at least for a while. Force was joined about 2 days later, but then Kodo decided that that was not going to be good for her image, and so she kicked him out. Okay, would have been appropriate action, good. But then she did happen to actually let him back in on his birthday. I don't actually have screenshots of that. That's just what my anonymous contact has told me. But he was allowed back in for his birthday for a day, and then they got him kicked out again. And I'm like, okay, no contact means no contact. I'm sorry. I understand that Force probably does miss you. But that's because of the situation that you put him in. Okay? If... Honestly, this whole thing could have just been fixed if you just acted normal with the kid. First of all, okay? I'm not out here trying to be a bad guy. I hope that y'all know that. I'm not trying to keep a kid away from someone he, looks up to as a person. This is honestly and genuinely disgusting because I feel bad for Force. He probably, I'm sure, sees me and many of the other people who've talked about this as enemies, as people who are going against one of his friends. But unfortunately, that's not the case, So like we do know, like I was saying, Force wasn't really that active in this server, but then comes another server, right? And so I guess you could say this is like the third server in the saga. And then a lot of people ended up migrating to that server. I can't tell y'all explicitly like this is how many went over there, but I do know that a good chunk of the people went over to that third server, right? And then come to find out, Force joins a week later. So you would think that their appropriate response would be to kick him out again, right? Not necessarily, because Kodomodachi ends up letting him stay there, which is where this screenshot actually came from. This was almost the most recent server, but then another server was created because there was some drama that happened in their server. Go figure, there's always going to be drama everywhere, right? It's just something you can't escape, unfortunately. But the third server ended up, I don't think it went down. I mean, it might be down now, but the third server wasn't, I don't think, down at that time when they created the fourth. Just some drama happened, and so 10 people went over to this final and fourth server, which included Force and Kodo. So I want to go ahead and talk about the fourth and final server because that's kind of where everything lies, I guess you could say, for most of the content that I have right now, or the screenshots. I'm going to be flashing up some of the screenshots here from the fourth and final server. And this is just to show y'all that Force 2 and Kodo were talking with each other. Now, the sad thing is, these conversations actually seem normal. And so much of this could have been avoided, obviously, if Kodo, you just acted right in the beginning. But apparently that's too much to ask, right? So, in any case, I do want to mention that I know y'all probably do see that it says yesterday, and you're probably like, oh my god, it doesn't have a date. But let me tell y'all this, it actually did just happen literally yesterday, on 6/26, yeah, June of 26. Since I'm filming this on June 27th, because I was talking with the contact, going past midnight and stuff like that. So when they took the screenshots, this was actually shown, this conversation was actually happening on June 26th. So this is when all this was happening here. Now, again, as you can see, they have been talking a lot from what I've been showing y'all from the screenshots on here right now. But something I do want to talk about that was a little bit alarming was the fact that they were alone in a voice chat together, which I'm going to show that here. Now, as far as I know, I don't know if they talk with each other, and I don't know what they were necessarily playing. I don't know. They could have been either talking in a voiceless chat, or they could have been talking in game chat. Maybe they're playing something like Fortnite. I really don't know. But regardless, they were together alone in a voice chat, and that in itself is pretty alarming. Again, I'm not going to be trying to throw any wild accusations out there. It's something I don't know. I'm not going to throw out that they're in a relationship again. But still, if you already told to cut contact, it's bad enough that y'all are in a server together, but it makes it worse that y'all are in VC together alone. Like, how do you not think that that's not bad, you know? Regardless, I'm just getting ahead of myself with that. So, as you can see, there's ample amount of proof to show that Kodo was in contact, unfortunately, once again, with Force 2, and she lied to everybody. So I'm going to go over this really quickly because this is not necessarily anything, like, relevant to the Force 2 and Kodo situation right now present, but what it is relevant to is it does show that Kodo really didn't think that she did anything wrong, or at least she didn't, like, feel like she needed to take as much responsibility when she did. If y'all recall, which I don't know how many of y'all viewed it, but I will forward y'all the link to that video right now. There was Harley TBS made a video about the Kodomodachi situation in which he had a little interview with her, and she basically told him, like, yeah, I knew it was wrong the whole time, I'm sorry, Harley, this and that. So you felt like, okay, at least Kodo in the sense is now, like, she understands that she was wrong, she admitted it, okay. But it turns out that was not necessarily the case, because a day before that video was posted, because mind you, the interview, you know, it took place a little bit before the video was going to be posted. Harley had to go through it, edit it, and all that. So this was the day before the video actually took place, but this happened after post of an interview, you know. She said, I actually have something very important to say about the situation, and no, it's not any more drama. I just wanted to tell you guys I'm finally happy and free from the drama because I spoke with someone who is a CEO of a big company I've worked along with, and she spoke with a lot of people who were old, like 40 or more. I like how she just says it's old. But anyways. And they said that the ranchers are stupid and they're beating a dead horse. I didn't commit any crime. The only guilt I have is for being stupidly immature, and I corrected myself. It looks like you did not correct yourself, actually, Kodomodachi, as we can tell from right now. So it just feels like she didn't take it seriously. I mean, if you look a little bit forward, it says I was actually wants to laugh at the drama situation now. And I'm like, okay, so we've learned nothing. From the video that you made on your channel, from the video that was posted on Harley where you were interviewing, it meant nothing. She goes on to say this in the second screenshot. Sadly, I gave myself up to a ranter. I should have known better. They'll probably say crap about me anyway. At least I learned something with them. Alright, no more drama stuff. No more useless depression. I will take a proper break and heal myself. Lesson learned. And again, that lesson was not learned, was it, Kodo? Because obviously you were still in contact with the minor, and you still had the audacity to keep it, like, you know, try and keep this little secret from everybody, because you knew you would get in trouble again. And you knew that you'd be breaking so many promises to so many people. We asked you to go get help. We asked you to go do stuff. You know, people were being very lenient. Some weren't. I'll say that. And I don't agree with people who are telling you to kill yourself and stuff like that. But there were a lot of people who were being very, very lenient, and I would say more than generous with what they were telling you to do. And you just threw all of that in the garbage can right now. Because you lied to everybody. You were basically making fun of this whole situation after Harley released the video. Kodo, how are we supposed to trust you again? I really don't understand where your whole motive was with this, Kodo. Like, you knew that if somebody found out about this again, you were going to get in trouble. And you're going to be reaping what you sowed, Kodo. I honestly don't know what else to tell you. Just the fact that, again, I want to make this apparent. Even if it was necessarily legal in Kodomodachi's state, which I already talked about this in my last video. I'm not going to get into the legality of it again. I do, well, at least not my morality stance on it, because I have a whole thing on it. But just know that it's not legal in Force State, or a country. You should have known that, and it's against Discord TOS to be doing this with a minor. Still to this day, someone that you said just sure dated. So regardless, none of this was ever right, okay? Anyways, guys, I don't want to drag on this video for too long. I mean, I know I talk a lot, and I probably talked a lot for this video already. I tried to keep it condensed. I tried to keep everything concise as much as I wanted to. But I typically go on a big rant when I'm pissed, so I apologize if this video was kind of long. But I just wanted to let y'all know that Kodo lied to us. She didn't drop contact with Force. She did for a while. She's not dating him anymore. I guess those are some pluses. But she ended up breaking the promise that she was supposed to make to everybody. That she was going to stop being in contact with Force. That she was going to stop, you know, doing this because that was the minor that she said she dated. And whatever have you, you know. So what that just tells me is I can't trust Kodo anymore. I don't know if she's still going to be in contact with him. I wish there was a way I could, you know, make sure that they won't be in contact again. But there's no way for me to ever really and truly, you know that they could still be in contact after this video. So I apologize for that, y'all. I really wish I could find a better solution for that. But all I can do, at least at this point, is just talk about it and let y'all know. Because I did feel like I stuck my neck out a little bit when I said, hey, by the way, I now have reason to believe that they are not in contact anymore, you know? I felt like I did. So now I feel like it's my responsibility to talk about this once again. Because I don't want to be called a liar. I don't want people to think I'm associated with Kodomodachi. I don't want people to think I'm withholding information. That's why I'm making this video. Plain and simple. Wouldn't want to make it otherwise. So I don't want to be dealing with this situation anymore, guys. I'm just very disappointed in quite a bit of people. But at the same time, at the end of the day, really who I'm most disappointed with is Kodomodachi. You know what you did wrong, Kodo. You know what you did wrong. I don't know what to tell you at this point. We've told you time and time and time again how wrong this was. And yet, you still went through with this. You basically just crapped all over in our faces and laughed at us and was just like, oh, you losers. I got away with it. Screw y'all, you know, or at least you thought you were going to get away with it. Things come forward, Kodo. Things come forward. You should never keep things you should never think that everything is going to be a secret, especially when other people know about it. So, this is all on you, Kodo, at this point. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you what to do at this point. I genuinely do hope that you go get some help. I genuinely do hope you stop contact with Force. But besides that, Kodo, I don't have much faith in you at this point. You've proven, time and time again, and especially now, that you can't be trusted. So, I don't know what else to say to you, Kodo. You do you, I guess. Just don't be trying to talk with Force anymore. That's all I ask. And I thought we already dealt with that situation the first time around. But apparently not. So, I'm sorry that this was not your typical video, guys. Again, I didn't want to make this. I really did not. I hate talking about this. And I really hope to God I never have to talk about this situation again. At least not in this video format again. But yeah, that's really all I've got for y'all. If y'all want to talk about it, obviously comments are open. Let's have a discussion. Let's talk about it. But I'm very upset right now. I did not want to make this video. I really didn't. So I hope y'all understand where I'm coming from, and I hope that y'all see where Kodo is coming from as well, and that she can't be trusted. So that's it, guys. I'll see all of y'all in the next video stream. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and peace out.